In the history of Georgia, no individual is hated as much as William Tecumseh Sherman. Towards the end of the Civil War, the widespread destruction caused by Sherman's march to the sea split the Confederacy and essentially sealed Union victory. Leaving Atlanta, Sherman and his 60,000 troops marched toward Savannah in lines measuring 60 miles wide, or about the average distance a person can drive in an hour. Along the way, Sherman ordered his men to torch crops, ravage supplies, slaughter livestock, and destroy infrastructure, including buildings and railroads. It took about a month for Union forces to reach the coast, but once they did, Savannah fell quickly. Short on supplies, Union forces crossed the river at what is now known as King's Bridge, traveled through present-day Richmond Hill and on Highway 63 en route to Fort McAllister. Attacking from the rear, the Union Army overwhelmed the fort, which allowed Union supply ships free passage into Savannah. Just over 200 soldiers died in the battle. With Savannah severely outmanned and supply ships able to move up and down the coast, the city had no choice but to surrender. Savannah's occupation left Confederate forces in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia without the ability to resupply, leaving defeat inevitable. Once in Savannah, Sherman used the city as his base of operations. With the downtown area remaining relatively intact since the Civil War period, millions of visitors flocked to Savannah to visit a number of Civil War landmarks each year. The Green Meldrum House, pictured here in this Civil War period sketch, served as Sherman's headquarters during the final months of the Civil War. Located on Madison Square, which connects to Bull Street, the recently renovated building can be toured by the public and is currently owned by St. John's Episcopal Church. While not 100% certain of its accuracy, Sherman's letter presenting Savannah and its 25,000 bales of cotton as a Christmas present to President Lincoln is rumored to have been written inside of the house. At the time of the Civil War, Savannah had become the 18th largest city in the United States due to cotton exports. It served as the South's version of present-day Wall Street, home of the New York Stock Exchange and one of the centers of wealth in America. Turning to Sherman's forces, located at the intersection of Abercorn and Oglethorpe Streets, Colonial Park Cemetery served as a home to Sherman's troops since it was ideal for horses. During their time in Savannah, troops ransacked and raided many of the cemetery tombs, stealing personal items including jewelry, forcing them to be permanently sealed. As you can see from this wall full of damaged cemetery headstones, destruction caused by Union troops was massive. A close-up of a group of headstones shows the extent of the damage, as many were either broken or had their dates altered to show incorrect birth and death dates. A number of local buildings were also used as hospitals during the Union's occupation of Savannah. Currently a 4-star hotel, the Marshall House, located on Broughton Street, served in this capacity. After a complete renovation in 1999, the Marshall House has twice been voted the best hotel in Savannah and has been featured on the Travel Channel as both a great and haunted hotel. Part Confederate hospital, part stockade for Union prisoners, Warner A. Candler Hospital was used strictly as a Union hospital for a couple of years after the occupation of Savannah. Located on Drayton Street across from Forsyth Park, the hospital is believed to be the second oldest in the United States. The final former Union hospital on our stroll through historic Savannah is the Massey Heritage School, located on East Gordon Street at Calhoun Square. After being used as a Union hospital, the school was ordered to be a public school for African American children at the direction of the Federal Army. The school currently operates as part of Chatham County Public Schools and plays a role of great historical significance for many of the city's young people. The Second African Baptist Church concludes our history of Sherman and Savannah. Located on Houston Street, the church was the site of Sherman's famous Field Order No. 15, granting freed slaves 40 acres and a mule. However, that order was rescinded later that year by Andrew Johnson after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. The most polarizing figure of the Civil War due to his destructive military tactics, Sherman remains the quintessential villain throughout the South's history. heralded by the North and viewed like a deity by freed slaves, few can argue Sherman's tactics proved to be the dagger in the heart of the Confederate Army. Steeped in history from many major wars, the city of Savannah has done an amazing job restoring and protecting Civil War history. To be able to walk the same halls as William T. Sherman, touch the damaged headstones at Colonial Park Cemetery, or visit buildings which served as homes to Civil War soldiers, Savannah is a mecca of living, breathing history for all to enjoy.